The real charm and effectiveness of statistics lies in data visualization. Painting pictures with numbers is what makes statistics unique and powerful. In the recent past, data visualization has come to the forefront. In fact, now books have been written about how to tell stories with data. And it's just that numbers are sometimes more easily communicated if they are part of some visual, some infographic. And there's some establishments, some publications that excel in data visualization more so than others. I have a personal list of favorites that includes the New York Times, The Economist, and the McKinsey Global Institute that really shine and excel in presenting their data as infographics so that you have a one look at the numbers and you know what's going on. This graphic here is reproduced from my book Getting Started with Data Science. In this one simple graphic, I'm telling the story of who survived and who perished among those who were on board Titanic. And here I'm presenting the survival and death rates differentiated by gender, that is for males and females, but at the same time I'm also differentiating by age. I'm keeping the numbers separate for children and those separate for adults. And then, more importantly, I'm showing how the survival rates differed by how people traveled. If they were first class elite passengers, how many died, how many survived, if they were in the second class and in the third class. And lastly, if the survival rate differed for the crew. So a quick look and you'll find that the highest mortality was recorded for male adult employees. Almost all of them, 3/4 of them, perished. If you look at females, you see more women crew members survived than who died. Now, if you compare male children traveling in the third class, you will see even children who were male in third class, 3/4 of them died, whereas no male children in second or first class died. The same is true for female, and you would see even in the third class, the survival rates for female children were slightly better. So if you look at this picture, you will realize that if you are elite first class passengers and you are a female, your odds of survival are much higher than if you were male. If you were a child in first or second class, you are more likely to survive, but even being a child in the third class, your survival rate is not that strong. So let's have a look at what this picture tells us. Essentially, if you are a male, your odds of survival are much lower than if you were a female. Again, if you were an adult, your odds of survival were lower than if you were a child. That is, children survived at a higher rate than adults. So let us look at some common data visualization techniques. The most common way to display distribution of data, how for instance salary is distributed between males and females, we use histograms, and then we also use bar charts to demonstrate average incomes or whatnot. So here we have education level, university, college, and school, and then we have interest in politics measured on some scale. So you could see that those who have university education demonstrate slightly higher interest in politics. This is essentially a bar chart. And here you're looking at time series data, that is data at any phenomena that you measure over time. In this particular case, the construction of new housing, which is housing starts. We're looking at housing starts, but also we're looking at two different time series. One is the actual starts and the other one is the prediction from a statistical model that we estimated. And you could see that this is a line graph, line chart that we can plot, and we are plotting the actual data and the forecasted data from one of the models we estimated. Maps is another powerful way of presenting data. You're looking at a map generated by Paul Butler when he was an intern at Facebook. And Paul was an undergraduate student at the University of Waterloo at that time. And what he did is he took a very large data set of billions of records to demonstrate how individuals were Facebook friends over space. You could see that Europe is very much connected with North America. But what you also see is how the continent of Africa is pretty much dark. There's not much friendships that people have from the rest of the world with the African continent. So data could be presented as charts and as bar charts and histograms and as maps, and more recently as animations